Strengthening Institutional Capacity for a Sustainable Road Sector Conference scheduled for September 23 and 24, 2024 is a pivotal event that brings together key stakeholders in the road to delve more insight on the conference challenges and opportunities facing the sector. He is the Strategy Projects Officer in the Office of the Chief Executive Officer, Nehemiah Kapofi. He is also the Senior Engineer Program and Management and Policy Advice. Welcome.
Thank you, Selima.
All right.
Good evening.
Good evening. Just looking at the theme for the conference, it is on strengthening institutional capacity for sustainable road sector. What prompted the Road Fund to host this conference under this theme?
Foremost, Selima, before I answer the very important question, thank you. Let me highlight that the conference, which we term the Road Sector Policy Conference, taking place from the 23rd to the 24th of September 2024, it's a two-day conference, is convened by sector institution under the patronage of the Honorable Minister of Finance, in partnership with the Ministry of Works and Transport, the Roads Authority, as well as the Road Fund Administration. Not to exclude the inputs from our key institutions, such as the National Planning Commission, Secretariat, as well as the Ministry of Mines and Energy. Now, the conference theme, which is termed Strengthening Institutional Capacity for a Sustainable Road Sector, is an appropriate theme, which is prompted by the number of challenges experienced in the sector since the reforms. Perhaps I can take you back a few years back in the 1990s to the 2000s, where Namibia embarked on an ambitious transformative process where certain functions within the then Department of Works and Transport were institutionalized, commercialized to create efficiency in the sector, thereby resulting in the creation of the three key institutions, one being the Road Fund Administration, the Roads Authority, as well as the Roads Contractor Company. The financing needs of a very expansive network is what prompted this very key theme, where the sector institutions need to come together so that we see how we can create improved efficiency in the management as well as contracting capacity within the country, and revisiting our respective statutory duties of the sector institution as per our mandated legislations.
Before we go to the next question, is this the first conference?
This would probably be the first conference of its kind and of its magnitude. The last assembly of the sector institution, if I can recall, was in the 2012-2015, which paved the way for the 2018 Namibia transport policy being implemented from 2018 up until 2035.
Thank you. So what are the primary goals of the Road Sector Policy Conference, and also just in relations to strengthening institutional capacity?
Well, the primary objectives of this conference are quite a number, key being the seeking of solutions, innovation solutions, strategies to address specifically the underfunding experience in the subsector. Second would be to realign or rather strengthen the synergies between the sector institutions. And then obviously over the years, since independence, 34 years or so, shortcomings have been identified, and we want to address these, given the strategic and significant importance of our road infrastructure for the sustainable development of our country.
And maybe just also the key topics and issues we'll expect to be at the forefront of discussions during the conference.
Well, it's a two-day conference, and the Road Fund Administration along with its partners, have packaged an exciting program, packed to the extent that it's divided into what we call plenary sessions. Obviously, on day one, which is the Monday, starting with the official opening, and I can attest or perhaps confirm that we will have the official opening being presented by our Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Works and Transport, Honorable Mutora. An address will also be given by our Honorable Minister of Finance, Honorable Shimi. The topics range from the current, I would not say challenges per se, but conversations that we want to bring out there in as far as sustainability of our road sector or road provision of road infrastructure is concerned. Just to highlight, the first session will focus on our road sector reforms. Obviously, you want to see where you were in the past, the present, and plan for the future. We also want to discuss and digest the role of our government in developing our transport sector, having that regulatory and oversight role. The alternative funding models or mechanisms for a sustainable road sector is key to the Road Fund Administration, specifically where we want to touch on and highlight our road user charges and finding innovation for a sustainable road user charging model going forward. Not forgetting, I'm speaking of the road transport subsector, but from a national development point of view, as encapsulated in our blueprint, the Vision 2030, for us to reach that status of industrialization and to create the logistics hub where we want Walvis Bay as well as the future port to be the gateway towards the sub-region. We then need to incorporate other modes of transport, so we will be discussing integrated modal transport as well as the key topics at present. Challenges being presented by climate change. We are on the cusp of introducing e-vehicles as well as the change in technologies, amongst others. And then touching base again on and having a reflection on our current legislative framework of the sector institutions.
Seems like it's a fully packed program.
It is packed, but I trust we will do justice to the delegates as well as the speakers and presenters. Of course.
So, Mr. Kapofi, just how important is stakeholder engagement in the context of developing effective road policies?
Salima, thank you very much for that question. Just to take you a step back, both the reforms had key specific principles. The principles are, in a nutshell, to provide a sustainable, safe, and efficient road sector for the benefit of the road users. That benefit of the road users is a statement that I would want to underline and highlight. So the provision of road infrastructure and the development, expansion, maintenance thereof is to benefit the community, the nation, and the country at large. So engagement in that respect are very, very important in the work that we do as an organization, as well as a subsector.
I know at the beginning you mentioned some of the challenges that you want to tackle during this conference, but perhaps if you can just again take us through some of the current challenges faced in the road sector, and just this conference, how it aims to address some of these challenges.
Obviously, the challenges emanate from the continuation or the continuation of the reforms over time. Severely, we note that the sector is underfunded suboptimally. We would at least want to see where, at the minimum, the sector is funded at 70 to 80% of optimal funding. Other challenges that we are experiencing at the moment within the respective institution is that synergy and collaboration, which was at the onset meant well by our founding fathers and mothers, where we have seen, especially in our three key institutions, memory loss or institutional memory, which is depriving now of progress that we should have made at this juncture, and as well as the management capacities within our institution, and including now the development of this contracting capacity within the contracting space of the country.
Yes. So what outcomes do you hope to see from the conference, just in terms of policy development and implementation, I think, which is key at the end of the conference in terms of implementation? Yes.
Well, obviously, the outcomes that we foresee must then align to our national development goals. We are speaking now of the NDP 6. We are at the cusp of formulating NDP 6. We are in the current implementation of the Harambee Prosperity Plan, as being driven by our late His Excellency President Kenkop, as well as our Vision 2030. Now, the outcomes that we foresee, we would want to come up with practical, implementable recommendation for the at least medium to long term. Ensure sustainability of the sector. We would want to make a policy recommendation pertaining to the how to improve efficiencies and effectiveness, and further create a sustainable model under the road user charging system for the broader maintenance, preservation, as well as rehabilitation and construction of the national road network.
Thank you so much for being with us today and giving us that comprehensive information on the conference itself.
Salima, thank you very much.
All right. That was Mr. Nehemiah Kapofi. He was just giving us a brief on the sector, road sector policy conference that is scheduled to take place in September from the 23rd to the 24th this year. So we'll be right back, but before that, we'll have a session with the Ministry of Information and Communication Technology.